Hare Krishna. I think everyone can already feel the blissful energy here. So let us focus ourselves by chanting the pranam mantras to Srila Prabhupada and then to Giriraj. Everyone please. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatyare Shatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur-Bhaktavinda. Kindly repeat after me. Namaste Girirajaya Namaste Girirajaya Shri Govardhana Namine Shri Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Paramanandadaine Anandadaine Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada 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 Lila Prabhupada Pada Jaya Prabhupada Lila Prabhupada Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan. Welcome. Welcome.
Добро пожаловать.
And Swagatam here to this online Govardhan Retreat.
Online Govardhan Retreat.
As we all know, this will be a special retreat in the sense that we won't be physically there in Vrindavan. It is a very, very nice idea that we will have this Govardhan retreat somehow online. When Bhurijam Prabhu and myself became aware that we would not be able to go to Vrindavan this year and have the Govardhan retreat right there at our location at the foothill at the lotus feet of Giriraj, we hesitated. We did not think it might work by having an online program, because the Vrindavan atmosphere is just so absolutely enchanting. But then we were aware of what Prashanta has so nicely explained in her welcome address to all of us. Vrindavan is not a physical place in India. It is a holy dham, which is effulgent like the sun, just like the sun rays are everywhere, giving light to all the various areas of the world. In the same way, the holy dham gives light and an open invitation to simply all of the living beings who somehow or other connect with the holy name, the holy dham. Somehow or other can include thinking of Vrindavan Dham. It can mean to somehow hear about Vrindavan Dham, as we will do during this online retreat. It can also mean to think of Vrindavan Dham and mentally be in Vrindavan Dham. And listen to this one. To be in Vrindavan Dham can also mean to sit before our computer, tolerate the computer failures, which could happen because we are dealing with an Indian factor and an international arrangement. And desiring that the connection to Vrindavan is there, desiring to be in Vrindavan. Yes, an online retreat can work. Yes, you can somehow connect to Vrindavan and receive the benefit of being in Vrindavan if you decide to be there mentally. If you decide to hear about Vrindavan, and if, in case there is a failure, you just long or desire or yearn to be in Vrindavan, then you are there in Vrindavan. It is a spiritual place. Just like Krishna can come in the heart by thinking about him, by hearing about him. Shrinvata Svakata Krishna. The holy dham can also be coming in your heart. You can make a very deep spiritual experience. And I'm sure Bhuijam Prabhu, Jagatarini Mataji, and later myself will give you a few hints how you can make the best use and receive the greatest benefit of this program. So I welcome you affectionately. Behind me you can see Vrinda Devi, the goddess of Vrindavan, to whom we can pray. Mora e Avilas. It is my great desire to have Vrindavan Vas, to stay in Vrindavan in my mind. And you can also see here the Lord of Govardhan. He is Gopalraj. I will show the Lord a little bit more to you. You see, he is lifting with his the finger of his left pinky or left hand, the Giriraj. So we are complete. And I now want to welcome our Bhuijam Prabhu. Normally he will sit. Wait a minute. on this side when we welcome all of you. Welcome, Burijan Prabhu, and I must say, I became so joyful just by seeing you and seeing also our Mataji, and just seeing that picture on the roof where Prashanta welcomed all of us, because it is exactly at that place where Prashanta was addressing all of us, where we would sit if we would have the Govardhan retreat physically at the side of Giriraj. So now we are mentally at the side, and please, Burijan Prabhu, welcome us. Thank you very much, Burijan Prabhu. Really, as you were speaking and sharing your heart with us, telling us the mood in which we can derive the greatest benefit. I was thinking of my own experience with Vrindavan this year. When I found out that I could not come to Vrindavan, I was sad. Then, just before the month of Kartik, I caught COVID, and on top of everything, the place which I had rented to have my Kartik retreat, it was a beautiful place on an island, really totally away from everything. The place informed me that they cannot receive any guests due to the government restrictions. So I felt 3 times punished. I couldn't go to Vrindavan. I had contracted a disease with an uncertain ending. I had not been able to get the space I so much longed for, to go on a personal retreat. And yes, within that sadness, I made an amazing discovery. Every day in the month of Kartik, I would make in my mind a Govardhan parikrama. I would start at Shri Radha Kund, then go by Kusum Sarovar, then go through the busy town of Govardhan and move on. Then I would take the path to the right into the forest and move by the side of Giriraj up to the town of Anyor. Then I would again go out and be in Govinda Kund, and so on. I would go in my mind the well-known route around Giriraj Govardhan. And by doing this, I really felt the bliss, the tremendous lightness of heart, the fortunate position of having an overview from a higher platform, an overview over the entire life. I would see and receive all these gifts by just being mentally in around Govardhan. And I would really, yes, we say you are where your mind is, and we say mental residence in Vrindavan works also, but when we experience it, that is overwhelming. So in this time of our little online retreat, I sincerely wish to beg all of you. I want to invite all of you that kindly don't see this as so many other online classes. Kindly be present fully and take part in all the offerings. There will be visuals, videos. We will almost smell Giriraj Govardhan. There will be everything except for the prasadam, which we try to recreate as good as we can online. And I really request you to take this time in your life. It goes up till, let me see, Wednesday, January 6th. To take this as a time out. You should make yourself familiar with the schedule in your time zone, and then really take the whole package if possible. I would always say, and I want to say this here again, how the retreat culture works. To go on a retreat means you really exit or leave behind what you usually do, so that you can make new experiences, think new thoughts, and create a new version of yourself, a version without anxiety, a version which is aligned or connected with Krishna, with the ultimate things of purification of the heart, and so on. So by leaving the old life behind, you enter into a new space, the sacred space, where you can make all your new discoveries. This sacred space, as one author puts it, is the waiting room of God. You are in his waiting room, waiting for the things and the events and experiences which the kind doctor has planned for you. So this is the idea of a retreat, to enter the waiting room of Krishna and open yourself for new discoveries. This is what I request you. I have really stopped my life for these for January the 6th, and I've really made a plan to take part in every single session, something which I'm not always, sadly, not always able to do when I'm really in Vrindavan. And just listening now to Bhuijan Prabhu and then Jagatarini Mataji and then Bhuijan Prabhu again has really convinced me, yes, there is something in the hearts of these devotees which I also want to experience and get. Let me just close by singing a verse to all of you, which will convince you also from the Shastric perspective that going on a retreat which is dedicated to Vrindavan is really the wisest and best use of your time. This is from the Nectar of Instruction by Srila Rupa Goswami. Tannama rupa charitadi sukirtananu smrityo kramena rasana manasi niyojya tishtan brajetat anuragi jananugami kalam nayet akilam yit upadesha saram. Srila Rupa Goswami here does something wonderful. He reviews the entire body of Vaishnava teachings and wisdom, and then says, there's an essence here, which I want to now tell you. Listen, everyone. This is the essence of all other advices. It is that one should utilize one's full time. Prabhupada adds 24 hours a day in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, His transcendent form, qualities, and eternal pastimes. And thereby, one should gradually engage one's tongue and then one's mind. It's a very nice program. The essence, he says, use your tongue and later the mind. It will come, the mind will follow the tongue by nicely chanting and hearing about Krishna and his pastimes and so on. This is what will go on during this Govardhana retreat. Then he says, there is a place where you should do this, an ideal place where this transcendental, you could say, practice or sadhana will give the greatest results. He says, in this way one should reside in Braj, and one should serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional service. This refers to devotees who are now with us, and it also refers to the great associates of Radha and Krishna, the Ragatmika Bhaktas. One should be in Vrindavan and one should serve and follow these devotees, and then this is the essence of all advice. There is nothing more important, there is nothing more essential. There is not a single practice which is above this. This is a practice both done for those who are in the beginning of their spiritual life, who are in the middle of their spiritual life, and who are approaching perfection in their spiritual life. And there's another verse which says, I will only say in English, if one is physically unable to go to Vrindavan, he should mentally, in his mind, be there. And this is what we are doing on the online presentation. And I do know from Prashanta, I will not tell all her secrets, but she really made sure to serve all of us by giving us images, pictures, videos, and so many other things of Vrindavan that will help us, that will be udipans, stimulants, so that we can really make the Braj experience. So this is not an online, these are not online classes, no. This is a very new type of sadhana. It is going in our mind to Vrindavan Dham and staying there, following devotees there, both those who are on this plane, the plane of the world, as well as those who reside in the eternal spiritual Vrindavan. And I'm very, very moved already. You know, I thought, oh, this will be one of the thousands of online classes which we give, but no, it's not. You can feel in the heart the connection with Vrindavan. I wish all of you a wonderful Govardhan retreat in your mind, a mental Govardhan, or how do you say, mentally, a Govardhan retreat where you will be mentally present. I wish that this will be wonderful. I want to thank Burijan Prabhu very much for having the idea to place the Govardhan online retreat in the beginning of the year and not have it in its online version in the month of December. It would have been December, the end of Kartik, or after Kartik. It's a good idea because this will put such good impressions into our hearts that the year 2021 will have extra blessings which we require with itself. In fact, it will connect you with your true spiritual goal, your ultimate goal, and that will echo, hopefully, a long time through the rest of the upcoming year. Thank you very, very much for having me in this, and all the best for you. We will now let us see how the program continues. I think we should give now the microphone to our Prashanta, who will take us to a special holy place. This is the mountain, the only mountain to my knowledge, which was taken up in the hand of God and lifted. Therefore, taking his shelter offers the supreme shelter to the living entities of this world. On an online retreat, we seek shelter at Giriraj through hearing about him and remembering him. A very good precedent of this is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, whose disappearance festival we are observing today. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had his main temple and ashram, his mat, in Mayapur, and he made sure to install Radhakund there, I believe also Shyamakund, and he gathered a good size hill, the Govardhan, there in Mayapur, and made arrangements that pilgrims could circumambulate him, and also learn this mantra which we have chanted: Namaste Girirajaya Shri Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Paramananda Dhaine. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur put that semblance of a mountain everywhere in Mayapur, and circumambulated devotees from all over the world worship Giriraj as his Shila at their home place. And the devotees now at the Online Govardhan Retreat think of their relationship to Giriraj from wherever they are, America, India, I think also China. I'm very pleased that the attendance already supersedes or is greater in this online retreat than actually in the physical retreat which we have given near Jatipur. The main way in which we worship Giriraj here is through listening to his katha. This will be the last point. You can actually be experiencing the tremendous benefits of this most sacred of all mountains, this mountain which gives the greatest amount of shelter, by simply listening with your mind open and your heart open to the narrations that have already gone on. Madhavananda started, and tomorrow very punctually we will start the beggar's precious gifts. Oh, very good. And then there will be 2 other kathas. One by Jagatarini Mataji, who will tell in her unimitable way how the trees tell stories, the trees of Vrindavan. But listening here is very much highlighted in the Bhagavatam. Who in human society can be satisfied without hearing sufficient talk of the Lord, whose lotus feet are the sum total of all places of pilgrimage, and who is worshipped by the great sages and the devotees? Kas tripnuyat tirtapato bidhanat. Who can be satisfied without hearing sufficient talk of the Lord? Such topics, see what they can do for you. Such topics can cut off one's bondage to material affection simply by entering the holes of one's ear. Prabhupada here says something amazing. He says, Krishna Katha is the only remedy for all people of the world, because it can situate one in pure consciousness of the self and liberate one from material bondage. This text you can find as a verse in Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text 11. It is amazing that this katha has this amazing power, especially if hearing is connected with the sacred place. No? Therefore, the scriptures always say we should do our hearing in Vrindavan, either physically or as we do now, mentally. I really wish that you can inform your friends of this unique opportunity. Please make some time to be present for all the various kathas which have been arranged so that even the American people, without having to be there at an inhuman time, they can see it. It will be time delayed. It will be broadcasted to them. So everyone, either Europe, Asia, or America, can take part in this wonderful service. Really, any good program, spiritual program, starts with building a determination, a desire, and some practical steps how to make this possible. And I request you really now or a little later to really make this determination. You can say, I wanted to be physically there this year, but it was not possible. Therefore, let me take full advantage of the upcoming presentations. At this time, in Vrindavan, we would all be in the pandal we would feel Giriraj's presence. Well, we would sit, Bhurijam Prabhu and myself would be at the stage, and Giriraj would be on this side. For you, you would sit facing the stage, and Giriraj would be on your left side. But we would feel him somehow, even in the darkness, touching us. And when we would leave the big tent, we would go past a beautiful Giriraj Shila. Some of you will have recognized that Shila in the last presentation by Prashanta. And he had at various times a laddu, a barfi, even a date with marzipan inside in his mouth. So yes, that would be the situation. And we would not dare to end the retreat without Bhurijam Prabhu, who would encourage us to chant. I hope you are, yes, he is there. This time Bhurijam Prabhu has become 1 year older, so we will hear his 1 year younger self, I believe. But you better introduce what you are going to do. Please, yes. Bhurijam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Thank you for your emphasis on hearing and focusing on the opportunity we have and letting others know as well. But the day is coming to its end, and especially in New Zealand, it's like 2 in the morning or something like that. In Melbourne, it's 12 at night, and in Perth, it's coming close to 9 o'clock at night. And what I would like everyone to do is, because we've had a relatively intense first day in one sense of our retreat, so everyone take a moment and actually just close your eyes and place yourself in your mind in front of Giriraj. And then find yourself a tree in front of Giriraj. But don't all crowd the same tree. But find yourself a lonely place with Giriraj in front of you and a tree. And then very, very, very simply fold your hands and get as close to the dust of Vrindavan as you practically can. And then open up your heart right now. But no need to tell Giriraj all the difficulties, but rather just make your deepest and sincerest prayer to Giriraj. Why don't you do that right now? We'll just take a minute for that. But make it really deep and sincere, or as deeply as you can, and as sincerely as you can. The real secret desires in your heart on the deepest level. And say them with some feeling and sincerity. And then offer offer some prayers for others. And Giriraj's soft heart will melt your soft heart. Okay. Please open your eyes. And what we're going to do now is something quite radical. Usually what we do as one of the, after the last closing advice is given by Maharaj. Maharaj invites me to stand up in front of everyone and say, Bolo Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. And we will do that now. And what I would like everyone to do is stand up and put your hands in the air. We won't see you in the camera, but this is what I want you to do also. And I'm not going to be able to say it loudly, and depending upon where you are, you can say it as loudly as you practically can. If you're happen to be in China, I wouldn't advise you to to say it too loud, because some of your neighbors may not deeply understand. So please keep in mind the practical circumstances that you find yourself in. I shall also adjust my camera here. While keeping in your mind the practical circumstances you find yourself in, but really put your heart into chanting. Now,
Yay! 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 Radhe! Shri Radhe! Jai Shri Radhe Syam!
It feels like home. Okay. Prashanta?